Hi, everyone. Today I would like to present another piece, as I want to call it, of this journey that I started already with previous SFSCon sessions. And in the previous sessions, I was talking about documentation and how to have your documentation for your open source project done properly, also looking, let's say, professional, because open source can also be professional. And you can see the recap at that links. Then I also tried to touch the accessibility topic in open source projects. And this year, I would like to present how you can also build your open source project using open source tools. And of course, I'm giving you these informations using the Uyuni project as an example. But what I'm telling you today, what I'm showing you today is something that you can also reuse in other open source projects. It's not specific of this open source project. So let's dive in. First of all, I said Uyuni. I doubt that all of you are aware of what is Uyuni. And you can see this background. The background is not just a nice picture that I found. Actually, is something connected with the project itself. And Uyuni, first of all, is a place in Bolivia, is the largest salt flat in the world. And it's called Uyuni. And the project itself is also called Uyuni because the main technology used under the hood is salt. And yes, when you have nerds trying to find the name for a project, the name for something, you can have also this kind of connections. So Uyuni is indeed the name of a project that uses salt as a main technology behind the hood. And Uyuni can be used for doing management of a lot of Linux workstations. Actually, you can do a lot of things, that's reality, but I don't want to go deeper into what you can do with Uyuni because actually I want to show you how you can build Uyuni or your open source project. As you can see, I was highlighting salt, but there's much more going on, so you can also have a look at the website and discover. Because actually, this solution is really an interesting one that can be used for managing a lot of different kind of Linux. And I'm saying again Linux, so yes, you can do a lot, but the focus is that you can, with this tool, take care of whatever you want, because that's reality, it's almost whatever you want, of your Linux machine. And I'm not just saying one specific Linux operating system, but the peculiarity of Uyuni is that you can manage with it a lot of different operating systems. So we are not focusing on one operating system, one technology, one niche aspect, but you can really take care of all the Linux you have in mind. I mean, not almost all, but let's say that, as you can see, the support is really big. There are different colors in the slide, and I'm telling you what the colors, the meaning of the color. So in SUSE, we have a week where all the employees can spend time on whatever project we want. And several of those operating systems that has been added as supported in Uyuni has been introduced during the ACK week. But actually, there are also a lot of other operating systems that are supported in Uyuni thanks to complete contributions coming from community. So that's the idea. You have your operating system, you want to manage it with Uyuni. You can try if it works out of the box, because it could also be. If it's not the case, it's clear you can contribute and you can do the changes to the source code that are needed, because it's open source, so the source code is available. And then you can try to build the support of your Linux distribution in Uyuni. there is the support for other Linux distribution coming. I want to highlight that, yes, FUS is going to be supported. I mean, the support is already partially there, but we need to fine-tune some aspects. So that is also something that could be managed with Uyuni soon. And now, looking at how you can use it, the idea is that we have host OS, we are working with container. So you have your host OS. In this case, we suggest OpenSUSE Tumbleweed, but you can run Uyuni also on other operating systems. Then you add a specific repository, and I'm talking about repository, and you will see why in a moment. And then when you install from this repository, this utility, you can just start the Uyuni server or the Uyuni proxy and start to manage your client with Uyuni itself. So if you're curious, of course, you can have a look at the website. You find all the steps. But again, the focus is on the repository. You have your Linux distribution. You want to manage it with Uyuni. What to do, how to get those repository out of something. And that's the idea. This one is the interface, a part of the interface of Uyuni, and Uyuni is calling these repositories channels, and are the places, the repositories that normally you have in your Linux distribution. And in addition, you have what we call Uyuni client tools. The Uyuni client tools repository are the repository with some additional component, some additional packages, that's reality, that you need to install for managing your operating system using Uyuni as a centralized place. And for having those repository, those channels, the technology, the system, the framework that is running behind is the Open Build Service. I don't know if anyone here already heard about Open Build Service. OBS, not the video studio software, but the Open Build Service. Okay, there is someone, that's good, that's great. But the idea behind OBS is that you have your sources that are coming from somewhere. And this somewhere can be Git or can be sources that you are directly uploading on the build service. Then you tell the build service what you want to do with those build receipts. And the build service will build for you the final repository with the packages inside. And I'm saying packages, but actually with OBS you can build containers, and the Uyuni containers are built again with OBS. You can build Helm charts, yes, also that, and of course it's a different way to define what you want to build as a build artifact, or you can build RPMs or DSC and build the classical packages like we are used to have since ages. And for the users, everything is transparent. They get a repository. In the case I was showing before, the slides from before, it's just a link of the final repository where the build artifact can be downloaded. And for Uyuni, as I was saying, the users are just getting the final URL of the client tools. But for the contributors, and we see again OBS. We have this centralized project where we have all our sources building. Several of those sources actually are maintained at Git. Others are natively in the build service. And some of them are just Docker Compose file because are building the containers. Others are spec file for building RPMs. Other are a DSC file for building the deb packages. Or we can also have a mix, meaning that you have a spec file, and using something called deb build, you can build a deb binary out of an initial spec file without having the need to maintain the build receipt in different, let's say, formats that the build service could understand. You can just use, let's say, one for having all the different build artifacts. And this is the main project. Then, of course, as I was saying, this one is just a small example of a part of the configuration file, the so-called project config, where I can define, and actually this one is the real definition, that for the repository that is called Debian 12 or the other for the Ubuntu family, I'm using a spec file, but actually what I want as an output is a deb, and I want to use the build as a build engine. And you can have all those kind of customization as you like, and the build service will understand those configuration that you can specify, and will build the build artifact for you. There are some special cases where, and this one is the example of Alma, you want to use upstream. So this modular way to define parallel streams of packages that should be available. And this feature is also available, and there is this specific expand flag directive, and with that one we are telling to the build service, yes, what I'm building in this repository called Alma Linux 8, it's something that should also use this module for Python 3.6 or this other module for the Go toolchain. So you can also do this kind of customization for having some specific build. And this project that I'm listing here is actually the project where we are building that utility that I was mentioning before, this MGR ADM. Actually, it's not the unique package built out of that. There is a set of packages that are built from the same source. And in one unique repository, we are building this tool for Debian, for Ubuntu, for Alma Linux, for Fedora, for Red Hat and all the clones, OpenSUSE, SUSE, etc. So one place, one unique build recipe, different customization, and the build service is doing the magic for us. And that's really powerful. It's not just something that you can apply to Uyuni, as I said, but your open source project could just be built using OBS. And yeah, this one is the example of the build. And if you want, of course, you can also join our community. We meet every last Thursday of the month, sorry. And we are also mainly having the main point of contact on GitHub discussions. But of course, there is a lot that can be done because this one is an open source project. So if you want to join, it will be great to have you on board. And here you can also find a few additional links to the OBS, plus the other places where you can find the Uyuni source code or other information for starting to be part of the community. And with this, if you have any question, I left a bit of time. Doesn't seem to be the case. Well, you can have a look at the Open Build service and start to upload your sources, try to build them, try to see, try to just share the final repository that will allow everyone to install your already packaged open source project wherever they want.
I have a question.
Sure.
So this would be interesting for both a single person that develops his own project or for even larger projects.
Absolutely,
that are
yes.
created by larger groups?
Yeah, there are some individual maintainers maintaining building, not maintaining, their software directly on OBS, because the infrastructure is public, is available, and of course, you can build also on different architectures. I didn't mention that, but it's not easy to be able to release your own open source project for S390 or PowerPC or other architectures that are less common. You don't need to do cross-compiling, nothing. It's just the build service having the workers able to build software for the different architectures. So that's the advantage.